Years ago, I was walking down the road in Raleigh and I encountered two people passed out in their vehicle. It turns out they had overdosed on heroin, a powerful opioid drug. I called a friend of mine who lived around the corner and he directed me to dial 911 and wait for him. When he arrived, with the help of a 911 phone operator, we administered Narcan, a life-saving medication which reverses opioid overdose. Today, I work as a first responder with the city of Durham, and I'm a state-certified alcohol and drug counselor. So let's talk about Narcan and how you can be an everyday hero. Narcan, generic name naloxone, is a pharmaceutical medication which is used to reverse opioid overdose. Look, the truth is, doing drugs is dangerous, and people die. The North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services reported over 4,000 overdose deaths in our state in 2021. Overdose occurs because the body becomes so relaxed that the lungs stop breathing. But most overdoses occur at home. According to the CDC, most overdoses occur with other people around, and so they are preventable. Narcan works to reverse opioid overdose by going into the brain and blocking the opioid receptors, immediately reversing the effects of the opioid. But doctors and first responders aren't with people while they're getting high. That's why it's so important that we get Narcan into the hands of the public, particularly people who use opioids. The Department of Health and Human Services reported thousands of opioid overdose reversals in 2021. Everyday people, everyday heroes who saved lives because there was Narcan in the community. Let's take that number higher. The more Narcan on the streets, the less deaths. Anyone can get Narcan. That means you can go to your local health department and receive Narcan for free. You can give it away to someone else, and if you believe that you encounter someone who is overdosing, you can use Narcan on them. If they're not overdosing, it's not going to have any ill effects. I could take Narcan right now and it wouldn't hurt me at all. But if they are overdosing, you can save their life. So what does opioid overdose look like? According to the World Health Organization, there are 3 primary symptoms. 1, the person is unconscious. 2, they have pinpoint pupils. And 3, they have trouble breathing. They may not respond if you call their name or shake them, and their fingers and lips may even be turning blue. If you believe that you've encountered somebody that's overdosing, you can use Narcan. If you do come upon somebody who is unconscious, always call 911. 911 will send first responders. But if the person's not breathing, they may not survive until first responders arrive. This is your chance to jump into action. Narcan comes in a container like this, with 2 Narcan nasal inhalers inside. According to the Narcan website, if you come upon somebody overdosed, the first thing to do is to roll them onto their back to open the air passageways. Then you open one of the Narcan containers. Inside are easy to follow step-by-step instructions on how to use the Narcan. Remove the Narcan inhaler from the container and place your thumb on the plunger and 1 finger on either side of the nasal applicator. Please don't prime or pump the spray as it only contains 1 dose. Now kneel beside the person on the ground, tilt their head up, insert the applicator all the way into their nostril and then depress it to administer 1 full dose of Narcan. Once it's used, set it to the side. FirstAidForFree.com recommends that you then roll the person into the recovery position with both hands underneath their head to open their air passageways and their top leg bent to prevent them from rolling over onto their stomach. If after 2 to 3 minutes the person has not resumed normal breathing, still will not respond, or is unconscious, you can administer a second dose of Narcan. But please realize that when you administer Narcan, it's likely that the person is going to go into immediate opioid withdrawal, which may include severe withdrawal symptoms such as nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. The person may even get mad at you and yell at you for ruining their high. But withdrawal is not going to kill them. Overdose will. You remember those two people from the beginning that I encountered, passed out in their vehicle, overdosed? They survived. They survived because my friend had Narcan. I didn't. Today, I always have Narcan in my vehicle, and you can too. Go to your local health department. Narcan is free and completely legal, because you never know when you might have the chance to save a life and become an everyday hero. Let's say hi to my audience. My coworker, Kirby.
Hello.